Good afternoon and welcome to a quick episode of My Fiber Fun. Well, you guys, as you saw in the title, it ain't over, okay? The liquidation store is getting ready to take us for a run. Okay, so the same young lady who rung me up on Friday, she was there again on today. And actually there were quite a few employees there in the store. I don't think I captured any on camera. There were like 4 people at the counter for the cutting board for the fabric. There were a few floor associates because they were stocking more yarn. And so the cashier, she was speaking with someone else who had asked, okay, when's the last day? Because we've noticed that other locations have closed. And so she mentioned that they were slated to close. Actually, this was supposed to be the last week. That's what she said, told everyone on Friday. She said they got notice today that they've extended it, which I knew they would because with all that stock, that was there Friday, although they've knocked a dent in it. She mentioned that more stock is coming, I guess, from some of the closed locations. And so they sent notice today that they're projecting closure at the end of May. So it ain't over, y'all, because I'll be back on the 25th. I'm sorry. I just want to see what they may or may not have then. Also, she said, I think it's going to go longer because she said we have so much stock coming in. She said, although it's selling, she was like, unless they knock those prices way, way down. I mean, there's some 80 and 90% and 60%, but they're going to have to come down on the yarn prices. That's what's not selling as quickly as it should because there was still quite a bit of yarn, although the best stuff pretty much has been picked over. But people have left that big twist, they've left that red heart, and it's a lot of that Bernat blanket, the old version, because I hear there's a new version now that's easier to work with. So people aren't buying that old version. They're, probably buying up the new version because I saw both while I was there, and it was a difference in the thickness of the yarn. Anyway, so she said she think they'll be open probably to either mid-June or late June, something like that, unless they drop the prices. But nevertheless, that's where we're at. So it ain't over. So I will probably take one more trip, even if it's just to walk through. I held true to my accountability. I'll show you my receipt. So as you can see, I ended up buying, I think at the end of the video, I told you I would go on and get the Kobu yarn because really, even at $3, it ended up being $3.24. And I paid $3.24. They took off $3.25. So that's gracious of them because I saved 8 cents. Okay, so basically, cut in half, and this is a good yarn, and I'm going by, I haven't crocheted with it yet, but after seeing TL Yarn Crafts video reviewing this, and she put it in the top tier, didn't make Yarnicorn, and she gave a reason for it. I forgot what the reason was, but anyway, it made the second tier beyond the Yarnicorn, and she had like 7 different categories that she was basing on as far as what she considered a good yarn to crochet with and not. And it felt good to me. I know it's acrylic made with bamboo or something like that. And she even mentioned that. Not acrylic, it's 40, I forget the percentages, and I'm not going to put these glasses on. But anyway, it's part cotton, part rayon, and I guess it's infused with bamboo, whatever that is, however that's made. But it's very soft. It's squishy, actually. And I saw the drape that she had. Now, I'm going to start, because, I bought the denim colored Kobu for the trashy shawl. And I bought 8 skeins. So I said I was going to double it because this is a 3-weight. I'm going to try it both ways. I'm going to make a little swatch and see how it works up without being doubled up, and then I'll see how it works up doubled, just to see, and then decide how I'm going to do it. If I decide to work it up non-doubled, then I can get 2 trashy shawls from each color. What I think I'm going to be doing is when we go on our trip for the family reunion, I'm going to try to make up at least 3. And I think I have enough yarn to do that with, you know, scraps and stuff. I'm going to probably make up 3 and 2 will be from the Kobu if I decide to go single strand with this. And then I will make, I want to make at least 4. I did 8 the last time, but, you know, and they were scrap shawls, but I want to make up at least 4 to either give away or raffle off at the family reunion. I may raffle 2 so that everyone has a chance to win one, or every female, or even the males, you know, they can win one and give it to their wives or daughters or whatever. And then I'll probably give one to our oldest family member, which is a cousin of mine, or if my aunts, you know, come or whatever, but they don't attend, they don't travel anymore. One aunt is 90 and the other one, I believe, is 87 or 88. So they don't really travel. So basically that's probably how I'll do it. If I do it, you know, I haven't decided yet. It all depends on the time that I have to do it. Okay, so I got the Kobu and the butt pillow. That's it. That was it, you guys. So I spent a total of altogether $40 after taxes. It came to $40 and I think 38 cents or something like that. So here's the receipt. So anyway, so I ended up getting the neutral color butt pillow instead of the blue one. But yep. So let's see how it feels. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I like this. Okay, so this will help me at night. It'll help my neck at night, and I'm glad I did this. I almost put it back, and then I thought, nope, I'll regret it if I don't get it. So regret it if I don't get it. We'll rhyme it up here. So anyway, here it is, the butt pillow. So go and get your butt, oh, you know, that is if your Joann's or your liquidation store have them. So that was it for the purchase today. So I'll leave this in the bag. I'll save the bag, save the receipt. That's it. So when I go back, my budget will be the same. I'll just go on and set it for $40. And I did not get that cotton yarn. And I did not get that, I chose not to get that party time, a sparkly shawl stuff, because I thought, again, I can always get, first of all, I can always get cotton. And then secondly, you know, I could order that online. And then secondly, I can always get sparkly yarn somewhere. So I'll just go with the fiber. So that's it, you guys. That's it for the episode today. I just came on to show you the haul, and I will be sharing the video that's coming up first of us going into the liquidation store and me shopping. I wasn't there as long. And then also, before I get off, I'm working on the bumblebee, as I call it, and I pray it. Wait, this looks like a dirt spot already. See, that's why I don't like, oh, no, it's not. Okay, I thought it was. I don't know. It was the lighting or something in here. It wasn't a dirt spot. Thank God, and I pray I don't wind up with one. So I'm keeping the yarn here on the couch. It still looks, no, it's not dirt. Oh, it's where I tied off to add the second skein, the knot. It's the knot. And now I've just pulled it out, so I have to get that weave back in. And then this other knot here that I have to weave in. But this is the bumblebee, so I just started on the second ball, and it's 8 balls total. So what I will do is going to be one solid color. I didn't think this was going to work, because the yarn is so soft and lightweight. It's real squishy, but it's stretchy. And so I did it like the She Devils. I just chained 3 in between instead of 4, so that it wouldn't be so lightweight. So it did add a little heft to it. And then what I'm going to do, I'll go 7 balls with this, because all I need is 54 rows, and I'm on row 20 already. So I'm going to take it a little bit more. I want to use all this yellow yarn, so it's probably going to end up being more than 54 rows. And then, so I'm going to do 7 balls, and then on that 8th ball, I will do the border, and then I'm going to crab stitch it just like this, and that will add weight to it and make it, you know, more drapey, because this isn't, it's drapey, but it's not and it is fiber, you know, with the cotton, the Pima cotton at that, that's your best top of the line cotton. So that's why it's so soft and everything. But it's Pima and acrylic. So, you know, you have to work it a certain way. It's a chunky yarn and it's very lightweight. And I think the recipient, if she likes the color, she'll like it. But I think she'll like it because from her zone, you know, where she lives and everything, it's a lot warmer than it is here in Michigan. So therefore, this would be perfect for the recipient. So we'll see how this plays out. And I will keep you updated on that. But yeah, I worked this last night in a few hours. So I'll probably finish this either tonight. Well, no, because I'm getting ready to go to the greenhouse and do some work out there. So I'll be back in like later this evening. So anyway, I'll work on this all evening and see how far I get. I'm quite sure I'll get through another ball. So I'll be halfway done tonight. And then I'll finish it up probably tomorrow. And then get it wrapped up and all that good stuff. Okay, and then I'll move on to the next one. I need to go on and do the United States one because the 4th of July is coming quickly. So, or you know what, I might even skip that and just have it for next year. I don't know. I'll see. It'll work up quick, whatever, you know, so because this is a real quick working stitch and you don't even have to think about it once you get that initial row done. So I may go on and knock it out and then on to the Kobu. That's what I want to do. Okay, and what else? It was something else too. Oh, I know what I meant. I remember yesterday when I said I was forgetting something. Yes, I was. And I'm going to just go on and put it here in this video because I just thought about it. Okay, so here it is. And I'm covering, this is my old address, but I'm still covering it. But anyway, you see where it's from, the state of Michigan. This is the letter that I received from our governor, our current governor. And I don't know if she's up for re-election this year or next year. I think it's next year. Well, she'll be done because she'll be an 8-year governor. She's in her 2nd term. So we don't know who will become governor, you know, after that. I think that's next year, 2026. But anyway, this was from her, and I'll read it to you. And so let me cover the address, the old address again. Okay, so as you can see, officer of the governor, state of Michigan. And then here is the letter, and she hand signed it, which is good. And yes, I'm going to frame this. I said after her, I don't know what I should do because, you know, I've been on Antiques Roadshow before. That's my show. I wasn't featured on camera, but my friend, JD, who you saw on the fishing trip, he won tickets. He and I both applied for tickets, and they did a raffle. I didn't win. He did. And so he took me as his guest because he won 2 tickets. So anyway, we both went to the Antiques Roadshow. This was back in 2013. And so it was really fun and neat. So I said, you know, this would be worth something, I think, after the fact, you know, once she's done being governor and all that. So, and I would like to pass it on to family, you know, and whatnot. So I'm going to frame it and that'll be it. That's just like my late brother was a funeral director. And when the late Rosa Parks died, he worked her funeral. All the dignitaries were there, presidents and all that, you know. And so my brother got to see everybody. Well, I asked him, I was like, I know you can't get me autographs and stuff. But I was like, because I know that's not appropriate, you know, at the funeral of the mother, you know, of civil rights. I was like, I'm just happy that you get to work it and be a part of that history. He was on TV because I videotaped the funeral because it was shown live, you know, in Detroit and all that. So I videotaped it. And my brother, of course, every time he had the opportunity to get in frame, he did. So yes, he was all over the news and all that. But anyway, I said, just do me one favor. I was like, will you please get me an original obituary? I said, I know people are going to, you know, be selling them online and making copies and all that. I said, I want an actual obituary. He did it. he got, wait a minute, he brought back about 50 of them because I didn't know everybody else was calling him for one. So he brought back one for me, my mother, you know, different family members, friends, that type of thing. And so it was the actual obituary from her funeral. So anyway, once I got it, I immediately framed it. So I have her actual obituary. It's not a copy. And the copies look different from the actual. They're marked in a certain way. He said they did that when they made them. So mine has the special mark. And she died after I went to, was it after or before I went to the Antiques? She died before I went to the Antiques Roadshow. No. Was it after or before? I have to look at the obituary, okay? I'll show it to y'all one day because it's right over here in my special tub. But anyway, it's a commemoration tub of 9/11, all the big events that have happened during my lifetime. I've always bought a magazine, newspapers commemorating it, you know, when it happened, as it happened. So this tub is full of all this historical stuff that as a group, I think will be worth money in the end. So this letter will be added to that once I get it framed. And so hopefully whoever gets it after I pass away will look at that and say, oh, this is a time capsule of history. And, you know, maybe they can get to the Antiques Roadshow one day or something like that and be able to present it. And it'll probably be worth something, not a lot, but it'll be worth something. Okay, so let me read the letter real quick so I can end this because I meant to be off of here 10 minutes ago and we're at 18 minutes. Okay, so she wrote, Dear Miss Davis, Senator Rosemary Bayer gave me the wonderful red, white, and blue knitted. Oh, y'all know wait a minute. Y'all know that's a hot take. We hate the word knitted for crochet, but that's okay. I let it slide because she's the governor, okay? But anyway, the red, white, and blue knitted bag that you made. How kind of you to make it for me. I just love it. As I get around the state, it's so incredible to meet some of the talented people like you who have chosen to build a life here in Michigan. I'm so proud to receive a gift that you put so much time and effort into making. And I can assure you, it will be put to good use. And yes, I have seen the bag on television because I look for it every time she's at something. So she was at some event or whatever, and she did a speech and she had the bag. Yay! Okay. Pontiac holds a very special place in my heart. My grandfather, Dana Whitmer, was superintendent of Pontiac schools at one time, and my grandmother, Esther Whitmer, taught in the Pontiac school system. I worked for the Pontiac school system, and our building where we hire in and you go put it, you know, all the business, the administration building is called the Dana P. Whitmer Center. And then there's also a school named after Dana P. Whitmer. And in fact, when I started school in 1969, Dana P. Whitmer at that time was the superintendent. So my kindergarten report card sports his name. So I'm going to add that to this as part of the archive. Okay, I did not know her grandmother, Esther Whitmer, because when I started school, schools were still segregated, and they started busing in 1970. That's a story I can share. I haven't forgotten about the story times. I just haven't done it, you know, but it's coming up. That's a good story to share. When they first started busing in 1972, I was in the middle of it, in the middle of history. There's actually movies and films about it. And we were ground zero of busing, Pontiac, Michigan. And I'll tell, that was something. So, and I remember it well. I was 7 years old when busing began. But anyway, I spent much of my youth in the community and have many fond memories of Pontiac. Again, thank you for your generosity and thoughtfulness. Sincerely, Gretchen Whitmer, Governor. Isn't that beautiful? Wonderful. Okay. So this is the letter. And like I said, it will be framed. I thought about laminating it, but I was like, nope, lamination will take the value from it. But I want to keep it in good condition, although it's folded. Antiques Roadshow, what I do know, when there's letters from officials that people frame and everything and present, past presidents, they will allow the creases of the fold of the letter. They do not knock off the value for that, because a letter must be folded unless it's just handed to someone, from that person. It must be folded in order to be mailed or whatever. So they will allow the crease, but you don't want any stains. You don't want anything other, no tears, no rips. So I would assume that lamination would count for that as well. So here it is. So I'm going to put it back up in the archives in my special spot until I get it framed. And I plan to frame it after her governorship is over with, which will be a year from now. Then I will go and get a nice frame for it and put it in the thing. In fact, hold on just 1 second, since I've already taken you to 20 minutes. Hold on. Okay, y'all, I promise not to take y'all too far down the rabbit hole, okay? So this is my historical box here. And in here I have, this is my final report card from college with my ending GPA. Then this is me. I was featured, and I did laminate this. I was featured on the show Mystery Diagnosis, and so they came and they interviewed me. And as you can see, I'm on the scooter because at the time I was still going through my MS attack. So when the newspaper, when the Oakland Press came to interview me, I was living at an apartment at the time, and because it was a HUD-based apartment, they could not allow cameras inside for anything. So we had to go out to the lake because the apartment was on a lake. And so we did the interview outside and everything. So there it is. Okay. I almost forgot about that. And here, you guys, this is what I wanted to show you. This is Rosa Parks, and I haven't touched this since I framed it. After my brother gave it to me, I laid it in a spot. I covered it because I didn't even want a minuscule of dust to hit it. And then I went out immediately, purchased a frame, uncovered it, put it in the frame, and it has not been out since. I didn't even read the obituary. I was able to read it online, and it's a pretty thick obituary, of course. But this is the actual obituary of Rosa Parks, you guys. And then in my this is my historical box. I'm not going to go through everything. For instance, you see the Katrina aftermath, the 911 stuff, and I will not, we're not even going to go through that. There was a newspaper. Let's see. Oh. Let's see what else I got here. Old Jet magazines. Whenever people die, who are famous, I would get the Jet magazine that talked about them when Obama was elected president, that type of thing. And then here I have some artwork from my cousin. He's a famous artist, and so I have his stuff in there. So it's just a lot of things in there, that are historical. So anyway, we'll go through that some other time. But anyway, that is if you want to hear the story or whatever about it. So, okay, let me get off because, like I said, I'm back down the rabbit hole. I'm putting the phone back on the tripod. Okay, you guys, so, okay, I didn't do too bad. We're at 23 minutes. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. See you this weekend. I don't think I'll be back this week. I've been on enough in the past couple of weeks here, so I'm going to give y'all a break. But I may or may not. Oh, I probably will come back once I finish the Bumblebee, so that'll just be for a few minutes. So I will talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.